Hi, it's Nancy with Garden Scroll, and I made it through the night on only one pain pill, so I think I'm pressing forward. I'm going to be back in the pink before too long, hopefully, back in the garden. Today we're going to go to the 2018 garden. We're going to be on May the 21st. I just can't believe this beautiful day that God has made, and I did get some rest yesterday, and I don't get very many days when I can come out in the garden and sit down and have breakfast or iced tea or something. But this morning I did, and lots of times if I do get that chance, the wind will blow me away while I'm out here. But today God has given me a beautiful, beautiful morning. I just can't believe that I'm so lucky to have all this beauty and have God and have Him give me a day that's even the wind is just a soft, gentle, refreshing. I wish I could just stay like this, but then it almost feel guilty to have to be able to have something so beautiful. Look right over here, there's a daylily blooming for me, and just to be able to have this much gentleness and peace is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. I thank the Lord for it. It's so rough when you're working and your kids are growing up and you're trying to do a job and a home and the best you can for your children, and it's just, you just love them so much. And the garden is such a wonderful outlet because you can love your little flowers. You can almost feel them loving you back. But if something should happen to one, you can just sigh and get another one. It's not like a child. I love my children so much. They're not always doing things to please me, and grandchildren, but I trust in the Lord to guide them and help them, and I'm thankful that He is our guide and counsel and helper. And I just hate it when they're hurting in any way. I just want them to be happy all the time too. But I'm so grateful that I made it to this place in my life where, even though it's a tremendous amount of work, it's just so rewarding, so rewarding. Just a moment like this can make you appreciate all that hard work and all that super fatigue that you went through, just to feel nature all around you and the presence of the Lord in it, and just to know that God is good and that He loves us and cares for us and gives us all this beauty, and that the beauty of nature is actually free. And then to think that God Himself created all this beauty, and when He decided to have a garden, He planted a garden eastward in Eden. I think He had already made all this stuff, and as He looked at it, I think He thought, oh, wouldn't that be pretty if it was growing beside that? And I think I'm going to fix a garden where I can put things together the way I feel like they would be the most beautiful. And I think that's exactly what He did with the Garden of Eden. Look at these pretty geraniums blooming here. As a gardener, you also see all the things you need to do, because that's the spot I want to put some higher or taller plant stands so that I can still see my little fairies and still see all the pretty geraniums too. But there's just like I say, every time I get on this, there's so much to do, but there is. But there's also so much to enjoy. And this morning, I think God just let me enjoy it for a while, and I want to do that. I just still can't believe that He allowed me to do that, and so much struggle through life to get to the point where you can enjoy life a little bit, and then to know that that's also a fleeting time. It's not going to be here for us, any of us, very long. We're not promised that many years upon the earth, but just to be so thankful to have the place where the Lord is with us, and we can feel Him with us and know His love and mercy. Another thing I did this morning while I was sitting here having donuts is look through my catalogs and see which ones I had ordered some, and I wanted to see which ones had come in and which ones hadn't come in. And yesterday I got some plants from Logie's. I've just got to take you around. If you haven't looked at Logie's books, you need to. If you have any interest in gardening at all or in flowers, you need to look at Logie's, because they have some of the most amazing and different plants, and the tropicals, the hibiscus. I ordered several of the hibiscus. They're so pretty. I'll have to take you around there, but on the way I'll have to show you all this other stuff too, of course. This little plant right here is filling out from when I planted it. You can see that Silver Falls Dachandra just flowing out of there. But my order from Logie's came in, and I was so tired that I really didn't know. I thought, oh, I don't even know where I'm going to put these. And I thought that one, I had wanted to put a Butylon flowering maple in that little double tiered pot in the back. This one right back here. Let me get this first. The peonies are leaving me due to weather and stuff. Oh, and look at this pretty daylily. But I wanted to put it right here in this pot, and I thought, oh my, it is so big, it's not going to fit there. But I put it there, and it fit there. I think it loves it there. I could practically feel it, the spirit of the little plant saying, oh, I'm gonna like it here. So hopefully, how it came right up to the top of this, and I don't know if you can see, there's already little buds there, and I think that'll be beautiful when it blooms right around the bottom rim of that pot. Hopefully it will do well there. And then, oh look, here's another daylily blooming for me. This is one of my favorites. I love this little ruffled edge. I didn't order any for these two, and then I thought, well, where am I going to put this Iconium, which is, it's in the family of the Datura, the angel's trumpet, which I know they can be invasive, and the birds carry seeds everywhere, and you have them coming up everywhere sometimes. But it also draws butterflies, and it looked so pretty. It's just a deep purple, almost a black. This is the president here. I'm getting around to the Iconium, which is not even in bloom yet. But this is the little pot where two of my plants had actually died out. And I thought, wait, maybe I could put it there. And I think it's going to be wonderful there. It kind of has, like I was saying, the deep dark purple, almost black little pendulums hang off of it in clusters. And I think it'll just be beautiful there, because it'll have room to grow, and it'll be up where you can see it at practically eye level, so that you won't miss it. It won't be hidden away. I think it's going to be beautiful there. I can't hardly wait until it blooms. But I purchased one once before, and by the end of the season it hadn't bloomed yet. But this one, it came so big that I think it's going to surely have a chance to go ahead and bloom. And then the other two were hibiscus, and they're not in bloom yet, so I guess I won't necessarily show those to you, although if you keep looking, I'm sure I'll get to it at some point. I seem to do that pretty regularly. Look at this little pot of sedum right here. My niece Lacey gave that to me, and I've given away lots of starts. It just keeps going. It doesn't even stop totally in the winter time. And it's ready to go again. I put a little heuchera or coral bells, and it'll be red. I've had one there before, and I just loved it there. I think a mole or gopher got it, but it's a tiny little thing right now. But hopefully, it will just take off and go. And it was so pretty because the tiny little bells on it, which are just always called insignificant, you go for the pretty foliage of the heuchera, but when they came right up in front of these little cherubs and had little red bells in front of them, it was so pretty. Our purslane moss is blooming just a little bit there. I think I told you we got another 1/10 of an inch, making the whole total of last week. These are pots I've got to redo. Almost everything out here in the front I still need to or in the front part of the backyard, I need to redo. This one I did get it. I've shown you it before, but I did get it all lined out like I wanted. But anyway, that's where we are this morning, and I'm going to try to look through my seeds again and see. There were some I didn't find, and I know I have lots of seeds. This right over here, I don't know if you can tell, I think you can tell that the penstemon or penstemon is blooming, and it really brings the hummingbirds. They just love this little pinkish reddish pink penstemon. But I'm going to need to move this little girl, I think, because it's practically covering her up. But I love it there. It does well there. So I think I'll just move her. And also I had planted these little, I forgot what they're called, callalux or something like that. Those little pink ones. And I didn't see them last year. So I thought they weren't here. But there they are. Isn't that pretty? And there's some of that agastache, or I don't know how you pronounce that either, but it's a pretty little lime green. There's different colors. This is my favorite because I like the lime green in with the other greens. And those are the ones I have in the front, in the pots in the front. And then I also have, I wanted to show you this verbascum, this yellow blooming verbascum. I think that's really, really pretty, and it may get to be a problem. I know that sometimes the mullein, it's in that family, can just become invasive, so I'm hoping that it won't be a problem. Oh, and I forgot to get back with you when I said that last 1/10 of an inch that made the total, and it made the total 1 inch and 1/10, 1 and 1/10 of an inch. We had 3/10 of an inch in this, and then we got that last one, 1/10 of an inch, and before that we had got 7/10 of an inch. So altogether we did get 1 inch and 1/10. So we're also thanking God for that. And I'm going to empty this out and hope and pray that we get more rains this season. Hi, it's Nancy with Garden Scroll. I was wondering what that red thing I had in my that pot when I was looking at the pictures was. and because it's not really red, it's burgundy, and I know it looks really red. It does burgundy in the garden. This is just a little celosia, but see, it's just burgundy. But when the sun hits it just right, it just turns it into ruby. And that Alternanthera Purple Night does the same thing, and it's one of my favorite things in the garden. For that reason, because it's like a garnet, and then it's a ruby at different times. Very pretty. I had to turn this back on, and where I'm going is over here to this clematis because it's blooming. Look, I just have a couple of little blooms. That one you can see well, and then there's another one right up there. But it's always nice to see a new bloom. Again, I'll have to say, I can't believe this day. This morning, I have to thank you, Lord, for this beautiful, beautiful day and this beautiful time. I've been wanting to have this time, but I've just been so tired. I haven't really been able to enjoy it, but I did give myself a chance to rest yesterday, and I did plant a few plants too. As I was telling you, my Logies order had came in, and I didn't know it was here until late Saturday, so I just was too tired to go ahead and try to take care of that. Oh look, here's a hibiscus coming up. I'm not thinking of the name of that right now, but I think it might be Copper King. It has just such a pretty little color to it. I think it's like mostly white with a orangey copper center around a darker center. Very pretty. I'm gonna leave this, I think, just like it is. I think it's really pretty. I may right back behind there put something, but I'm not sure, because I just think these sedums go together so well and look so good in there. And this little planter, it's filling out well too, or beginning to. I know it's not really filled out well yet, but the colors are beginning to look pretty. It's beginning to show that look at this pretty little euphorbia. I hope this will make it for me. I need to get some rock and put at the base of this little celosia here. I'm surprised I didn't already. I guess that was another thing I did when I was too tired to remember what I needed to do. But it keeps the stem, if you put a little bit of rock at the bottom of it or little pebbles, keeps the stem from getting stem rot and then the whole plant to just go. But dropped something there, had to pick that up. Back here I've still got some things I tried to overwinter through that time when we had a couple of frosts in this little thing, which it did help some, and I honestly think this little euphorbia here came up from a seed. There's a plant right beside it, and that's the plant I was trying to save, which I don't know if I did, but will try to save that and see what happens. But there's plants back here I still need to put somewhere where they can show off, because these two are a couple of beautiful hibiscus, and I don't remember if I got those from Logies or not. I know I got some from there year before last. I don't think I bought perennials last year, other than maybe a few that were also there where I was buying my annuals. It's really hard to do both, to put in the garden, to plant both perennials and annuals at the same time. And of course you need to do your annuals every year, because they only last a year. Sometimes though they come up from seed from last year. I was going to see if I could get down here and get this row. I don't think it's going to let me necessarily go all the way down there, but this is just an example of how busy I've been filling out. Now these at the bottom are perennials. They came back. This is Keys of Heaven. And there's a lot of stuff that comes back on this side, but there's also a lot of little pots that may or may not come back, and most usually they don't. Most usually they're annuals in the pots. A lot of times the perennials won't even make it in these little shallow pots, so I try to keep annuals in them. Annuals are wonderful because the perennials, like this beautiful Sweet William right there, they are so pretty, but their bloom doesn't last all season. It lasts for a while and then it goes away until next year. But your annuals, they usually start blooming and keep blooming. Not that this is an annual, this is Scapiosa, and it's a pretty little plant that the butterflies love. It comes back every year. So pretty. So this is just my west fence row, and this is the one I just finished out on the other end, and it's just feels so good to get it finished. I would like to put a little bit more in this little pot. I think she's pretty, but it just needs a little something else to go with it, I think. But there'll probably be sales before very long. It's going to start getting hot. I can't believe, again, thank you, Lord, so much for letting us have this wonderful weather that we've had. Because lots of times here in Oklahoma, it will just get hot early and stay hot. It has been doing that the last few years. Last year was not quite as bad as some of the others, and yet it was still miserably hot. But God has been so good, and I'm thankful. Especially, I just have to thank Him for this day and this moment right now, because if you thank God for special moments, this is actually one for me when I'm not really caught up, but I'm caught up to the place I think I can handle it now, maybe. And I'm going to not be buying very many more annuals. I'll probably buy a few, like I started to say, when they start their sales. I'll probably buy a few then. You just can't pass up those sales unless they're so far gone they're going to die. But if there's a chance you can bring them out of it and put them in a garden with a bunch of other pretty plants, I just know they would love that to happen to them. So, okay, well, this is going to be it for today, or for right now today, and I'm going to try to get busy and get something done. There's just a lot to do. I think my first order of the day will be to look through my seeds and see if I can find a few more that I've been wanting to put in. I like the forget-me-nots, and I have several seeds of forget-me-nots. I want to put those in. And just, I can't think of them all right now, but I need to just go look and check things out. These, I think these that look like an onion top there are a little bulb that looks like an egret, like a tiny little white egret. I'm not sure that that's them. I know I had some planted around front, and I tried to move them back here, so we'll see if that works out. But anyway, I've got to try to get busy.